Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. Today we're going to learn how to play the entire arrangement for Jingle Bells on the ukulele in this lesson. And basically this is suited for the beginner to the intermediate player. So it's not super challenging, but there may be a few new chords or a few techniques maybe you haven't done, but we're going to break it down and do it step by step. If you guys want to get the tabs to follow along with, you can get that at rockclass101.com. And you can also get access to the on-screen tab viewer at rockclass101.com. So if you're not familiar with what that is, it basically lets you hit play on this YouTube video for the performance, and you can stream the tab at the same time as watching me play it. And you can slow it down to whatever speed you want, and you can loop bars so that way you can practice sections one at a time or maybe a couple bars at a time. Anyways, it's a great way to practice and a great way to learn. So all of that is at rockclass101.com. So let's go ahead and get started. This song is in the key of G, so we're going to start off with that G chord. And I've broken it down into two sections. There's an A melody and a B melody. So let's just play the first part of the A melody. So this is going to be the first 8 bars of the song. So it sounds a little bit like this. Alright, so that's basically how the first part will sound. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a G chord, just the basic fingering of the stock G, and I'm playing out of that chord. So the first part is going to be hitting string 3 by itself, and then you're going to strum the chord, and with the middle finger you're going to pull off to the open. So it's 3, strum, pull off to the open first string. So it sounds like that. One more time. And then we're going to hit string 4 by itself and string 3 again. Alright, so it sounds like this. Okay, one more time. After that, you're going to do a couple more quick hits on the 3rd string. Just picking it twice, just like that. Right? So if I add that together, guys, I have... Okay? After that, it goes basically back into the same thing with a little bit of a different ending. So you would have... Right? So it's basically just the same stuff where it's the 3rd string by itself, strum, pull off to the open, open 4, and then you have a C chord, but we're just going to play strings 4, 3, and 2. So you're just going to strum the opens from 4 to 2. So if I put those two parts together, guys, I have... Alright, so the next part is going to go to an A minor. It's just that basic A minor chord, but this time we're only going to strum 4 to 2. Okay? Then we walk a melody line on string 1. It's going to go 3, 2, pull off to open, and then to a D7. And this D7 is literally going to be only adding one finger to that A minor. So it's going to add that ring finger to the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So again, I have A minor to D7. And remember, that melody is all on string 1. So we have 4 to 2 for A minor, melody on 1, 3, 2, pull off to open, add your ring to the 2nd fret of string 2, strum to 2. And that's what it sounds like. Next it goes into a D, and our D is going to be a little variation from probably the regular one that you do. We're going to take our index finger, lay it on the 2nd fret from string 3 down, and put your pinky on the 5th fret of string 1. And we're going to strum 3 down, and then play string 1 by itself. Followed by the 3rd fret of string 1, the 5th fret of string 2, and then go into a basic G. And you can see with this G, I've just got it barred with the first finger instead of the traditional 3-finger way. And that's just because you can see it's such an easier change going from D to G. I don't have to do as much work if I have to move, right? I can just keep this index finger constant, right, as a bar. So that's basically our first 8 bars, guys. And the last part, going from the D7 to the D to the G, those are 3 bars. Those are going to be ending 1, right? So when you playing this song, you're going to repeat this A melody twice, and then you're going to sub out the last 3 bars with ending 2. So let's go ahead and play ending 1 again, and then we'll talk about ending 2. Okay, so the second time I went through it, I played that different ending, right? So you're literally just gonna go, right? All of that is the same, but instead of going to the D7, when you get to that point, you're gonna go to a G5. Just think of it like an extended G. So basically, make that basic G chord, instead of your ring finger, sub that out with your middle finger. And then you're going to add your pinky to the 5th fret of string 1. So I like to call this an extended G, basically. It's just a G5 or a G power chord. So again, when you get to the A minor, you're going to go to that G5. And all I'm doing is I'm going strum, 1, strum, okay? Again, strum, 1, strum. And then I can add a couple mutes just to give it a little bit of a character, a cool sound, right? Right, and so I'm just touching the strings, I'm going down, up for the mutes, and then I'm going up for a D7 here. So it's basically going to be our 2nd finger on the 6th fret of string 3, index finger on the 5th fret of string 2, and your ring finger on the 7th fret of string 1. And you're going to strum 3 down and then pick string 1. After that, we're going to move down basically a whole step from our middle finger. So it's going to be on the 4th fret of string 3, and then the index finger will be on the 3rd fret of string 1. You're going to pluck those 2 strings, followed by an open first string into a G chord, but we're going to ignore string 1. So don't worry about string 1. So again, we have okay. The very last note is going to be the 5th fret of string 1, so it's that extended G. All right. So you're just going to hit that 1 string by itself. So again, the last 3 bars for ending 2 are going to be all right. So that completes the A melody, guys. Let's go ahead and move on and look at what the B melody is. So this is the Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells. So it's like the chorus kind of, right? So here's what the B melody will sound like, and I'll just play the first part again. Okay, so basically you can see it's straight out of that G for a lot of it. So go ahead and make that G chord. And our first parts are just going to be strum, 1, strum. So literally strum, first string, strum. So that's going to go twice in a row. Then the third time you're going to go strum to that extended pinky on the 5th fret of string 1, but you can see I'm still keeping the basic G chord shape. Followed by the 4th string, open, lift your middle finger, open first, put it back down, strum the regular G. So again we have strum 5, open 4, open first, strum the regular G. Okay, if I put those first few parts together, I have okay, the next part goes into a C. I'm going to use my pinky for this because our next chord is going to be a G sus, and we're going to need to use these guys on top of the pinky. So the pinky is going to be the easiest. If you don't use pinky a lot, try to use it more. It's always going to be the weakest finger if you don't use it, right? So try and make every finger even in strength. So here we go from C. And you can see how it goes right into a G sus, then back into a regular G. So I've got strum, 1 strum, and a quick hit on 1. And then I'm going to take my ring, put it right on top of that pinky, and my index finger on the 2nd fret of string 3. So it's a G sus chord. Strum that, go to regular G, hit string 1, and a strum. Okay, one more time. So I have C. Okay, so if I call it out, I have strum, 1 strum, 1 strum, 1 strum. Okay, this next part is probably the trickiest, I think, because it's gonna have a couple like muted hits, or you can even do a mute and an open. So it's really up to you. It's just an accent of a 16th note. Let me put it in context. Okay, so you can hear it's basically, so remember how we did earlier in the A melody, 2 quick hits with the mute? You could do the same thing, or you could do 1 quick hit and then an open, which buys you a little time to switch to our next chord. Okay? Even slower. So basically just like that, right? Our next chord, this is probably a new shape for you. This one is going to be an A with a 2nd added to it. So it's basically adding the B note to it. So this is going to be our ring finger on the 3rd fret of string 1. And then it's just that basic A chord on top of that. So that's your 1st finger on 1st fret of string 3 and middle finger on the 2nd fret of string 4. Okay, after that, I'm going to strum just once, play the open 1st string twice, and then play the 1st string again. But when I play that 1st string again, that middle or ring finger goes back down for the 2nd fret. So it sounds like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go into a D7, and it's going to be that same D7 we did before, and then stretch with the pinky to 5 on string 1. So from A, okay, and you can hit all 4 this time for that D7. That's fine, doesn't matter. That's basically our first 8 bars for the B section, guys. Remember that our last 2 bars are going to be different for the 2nd ending, because this one you're going to repeat again. So let me go ahead and do this. I'll play the B melody all the way through slowly, and then I'll repeat it again, and we'll play the 2nd ending. So here's what we get. So you're playing basically all through. All that's the same. To C is the same. So instead of going to the A right there, right? So you have C to G sus and those little mutes. This time around, instead of going to A, you're going to go up to a D chord. And it's basically going to be our first finger laying flat on the 5th fret of strings 1 and 2, and then your middle finger on 6 on string 3, strum 3 down, play string 1, ring finger goes on 7 on string 1, and then pinky on 9. So it's walking a melody on string 1 up. Okay, after that, we're going to go up to higher for our second to last chord of a G, and it's going to be our first finger flat on 7 from strings 3 down, pinky on 10 on string 1. You can hit the open 4, followed by an open 4 and a basic G. So it's a cool little walk up. Sounds like that, slower. Cool, and we can even add those mutes in right before we get into the D chord, right? So if I put it in the context for the second ending, I have. So you can see I added a couple mutes just to give it character again, guys. Alright, so that's basically our entire arrangement for Jingle Bells, guys. You're welcome to repeat as many sections over and over as you want. Remember, each section goes twice and has its own ending each time, ending 1 and 2. So you can play the A. It's literally just going to go AABB, but you can play that as many times in a row as you want, right? And it's fun to sing along with. It'll be a lot of fun for the family and friends. Or if you guys don't want to sing, it's perfect for that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you want to get the tabs and access to the interactive tab player, go to rockclass101.com. I hope to see you guys in class, and happy holidays. Thanks.